Hi, I'm Johnny from UltimatePaperMache.com, and I'm just now finishing up my elephant headdress mask. And I do have 3 other videos about this guy, by the way. You can see that at UltimatePaperMache.com/elephant mask. I show you how to put all the pieces of the pattern together. It takes quite a long time because this guy's big. There's a lot of pieces. And I also show you how to just cover it with paper mache, and if you just use one layer, this is what it looks like. I'll show you right here. And then I kind of decided to get a little carried away and I added some skin with some paper towels, kind of like I did with the baby elephant. I don't know if you can see her or not. Yeah, she's way over there in the corner. I think it made it a little bit more interesting, although I haven't actually decided whether I liked it better just plain or with the wrinkles, to be honest. You can let me know what you think down below. It had a kind of a real minimalist look before. This has a slightly more realistic look, and so, I don't know, it's kind of up to you, I guess. And then you can see he's not white anymore because I've spray painted him. I went down to the Ace Hardware store just a couple of blocks away, and I bought 2 different spray paints. Neither one of them are exactly the right color, and to be honest, it's hard to tell exactly what color to paint them, because when you go to look at photographs of a bull elephant out online, and there are hundreds of them, there's a lot of different colors. Some of them are almost like a khaki, that kind of a brownish, grayish color. Some of them are really light gray, some of them are really dark gray, so it really depends. Oh, and also you have different colors on on the face too. And I wanted this one to be really simple. I just wanted to spray paint it one color, and I couldn't find exactly what I wanted, so I picked up 2. And they're not even the same brand. I spray painted it first with this Ace primer. This is just gray. For some reason it dripped all over my hands, and it dried really fast. And it didn't come off. So I actually soaked my hands in a solution of water and laundry soda. It's about the only thing that I can think of that will get rid of spray paint, and it worked really good. And by the time that was done, and by the time I got my hands cleaned up, it was time to go ahead and play around with this one. Now, what I did with this, and I did this all down in the basement. The lighting isn't very good down there, so I didn't even know exactly what it was looking like. But I couldn't take videos because there's not enough light down there to make to get a decent video. But what I did was I sprayed this one, but I got way back here, about that far, about 2 feet at least, and I sprayed it very lightly all the way around. And I started out on the back first to make sure that I wasn't going to totally ruin it to get, like stripes or anything. But because I sprayed it really lightly, it really did work. It does get that kind of halfway between these 2 colors is what I was looking for. Which is kind of silly, I know. But that's what I wanted to do. So, what I'm going to do now, because I always forget, if you've watched any of these videos about me making headdress masks, you know that almost every single time I forget to put the holes in the mask so that I can tie it on underneath my chin. Otherwise, this guy's going to just fall forward. You really do have to tie it on, and I always forget to drill those holes. So I'm going to do that now. I'm pretty sure this punch isn't going to work, but I thought I'd try it anyway, just because it's easier than going out to the garage and getting my drill. Oh, it did work. Look at that. I put 2 layers of paper mache on there and the cooked flour and water paste, and I was still able to do it. My hands must be getting a little bit stronger. Look. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So now we need another one in the back. Having 2 straps, one in front and one in back of your ear, helps balance a headdress mask, I think, a little bit better than just one. So now I need to paint the tusks white. Now I've got some just plain old white here, and it just feels too artificial, but the tusks are really white. So I'm going to put in, like I've got it here on the side, just the tiniest touch, maybe half a drop of raw sienna. And I want just a teensy bit of that, just to kind of soften up that white. Maybe a little more than that. Too much? Now it's gonna read as white when it gets on stage. And I'll just go ahead and paint the tusks. I might need to give it 2 coats just to make sure that it's all completely the same color, because it does seem to be showing some of the gray underneath. Yeah, it definitely needed that second coat. Now it's white instead of kind of splotchy gray. Looks much better. Now I probably should mention that if you don't want to use the spray paint, because you know you're not quite as lazy as I am, this medium gray from Folk Art is almost exactly the same color that I sprayed this fellow, and I think it works really well. So if you'd rather just go to Walmart and pick up probably a slightly bigger container than this, the medium gray from Folk Art would work really well. The photograph that I'm looking has a real light brown eye, so I need to cover up that gray, and it's got a black stripe around it, so I'm going to just make the center part, the round part, white. Even with just the white on the tusks and a little bit of white on the eyes, getting them ready to paint, he's already looking pretty cool. I like this guy. I mixed some of that raw sienna with the white, just the white that's here that already had some raw sienna in it, because that looks like almost exactly the color of the elephant's eye that I'm looking at on my screen. Got a little bit of water in it, hoping that I can, some of the white underneath it will show through, but we'll see. I left a little bit of white right around the edges, very, very light. And I'm using just the lightest touch of the pure raw sienna just to make it a little bit darker in the middle. Not much though, it's not really showing up. I usually wait until the eye is completely done before putting the little white spot for the reflection, but I'm just going to go ahead and do it now because I won't need the white again. I can go ahead and wash off my saucer. I'll put it right there. Now I'm going to try something. I don't know if this will work. Hoping it does. It's really hard for me to get a straight line with a brush. That worked pretty good. Kind of goes out this way. And this way too. And in the photograph, it's just got a really, really small pupil. So now it's all painted. That really didn't take very long, just a few colors, but I think it's going to be really striking on stage. I'm going to take it downstairs and hit it with this matte clear enamel. This will protect the paint. The spray paint probably doesn't need it. In fact, probably none of it does really, but I just like doing it anyway. And it gives everything basically the same sheen. And after this is dry, I'm going to get out the fingernail polish just for those eyes, just so that they really sparkle when the light hits them. See, now the paint's all dry, but we still can't put him on our head and make sure that it stays there without tying it on. So I'm going to use 2 gray shoelaces, and I'm going to cut them in half. And I've got 4 1/4-inch washers. Now I want to mention, this is not a very sophisticated way to do it, and you might find a better way. but this works and it's really simple. So that's the way I did it. I tied a knot in the end of my shoelace. I put the washer on it, and now I'm just going to thread the shoelace through that hole. We reinforced this area with 2 layers of paper mache, and we're also using that washer to make sure that the shoelace doesn't pull through. It's just, you know, one in front of his ear and one behind the ear. And you might be able to get away with just 2, you know, one in front or one in back, or however you decide to use them. But I think this helps balance the mask a little better to have one in the back and one in the front. I like using the shoelaces instead of like ribbons or elastic or something, because they come in so many different colors, and you can get a pack of different colors. So like in this case, I think I bought a pack with black and 2 different colors of gray. So I got the straps on there, and I get to try it on. Let's see if I can do it with my glasses on. I'm not going to tie it on right yet. This is how it would work. I just have a really hard time making a bow tie when I can't look at it in the mirror. But as you can see, I cannot see you, because I need to turn to this side, and I can see around me. I can definitely see the floor in front of me. I can see the table, but I cannot see what's directly in front of me. And this is something to really consider before you decide to make one, because if that's going to be really important while you're dancing, and you think that it might be a safety concern, definitely consider that. Otherwise, just make sure that you move your head a lot. That'll draw people's attention anyway. That'd be kind of cool, and then you'd be able to see where you're going. It did kind of push my glasses down, though, I have to admit. So, there's one elephant. This was a really challenging project for me to design. Took me a really long time to make it as easy as possible, but it is still a big project, but I really think it's worth it. So if you'd like to make one yourself, the pattern is available at ultimatepapermache.com/elephant mask. And you can also see those 3 other videos on that page where you can see how all the pieces go together, and you can kind of get a feel for how long that's going to take. And you can also see how I put the paper mache, you know, just the first layer of just the brown paper or newspaper would have worked just as well. And then how I made those wrinkles, if you decide that that's what you want to do. So go check it out, ultimatepapermache.com. Elephant mask. I'll see you there.